The revolting beverages are served, and Jason and I love that there is an order in which these are supposed to be consumed too.
It's classless if you do it out of order.
Welcome aboard another brand spanking new episode of Another Below Deck Podcast. My name is Dylan. I'm saddled up next to one real Nicholas Davis.
Ahoy, mateys.
Pat, producer pod, is over there behind my glasses.
Permission to come aboard.
Permission
granted.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so hope everybody has listened to the Dave interview at this point. If not, go on your phone and scroll up a little bit.
Go to the episode before this because it's an amazing episode.
And also go to YouTube and watch it.
Dave texted us after and he said we changed him as a man and we allowed him to look at situations in a different life. So good on us, fellas.
Yeah.
Wow.
No, really, we are life-changing. Thanks very much, Dave, for coming on.
And also you're welcome.
And also update. The war with Bravo seems to have cooled a little bit. Listen,
we're in a Cold War. They didn't like that interview. We're never getting Kyle.
It's a war of attrition. We're dealing with
Don't say her name.
PR.
Oh, PR.
I was going to say Ramsey Bolton.
Oh, okay.
That's what I equate Bravo to. All right. Anyways, maybe that's a little harsh, but let's get into Below Deck. But before we do that, let's get into... Did I do a bad job? Are we done with public service announcements?
No, we got to sell Patreon, dude. I got to make some money.
Patreon.com/Another Podcast Network.
We're gonna we're covering Bachelor in Paradise.
Oh wow.
Yeah, man, it's been a long day, and
that was tough to get out.
It was. I didn't even think of the show. I was struggling to gather my thoughts. As I still am right now. Help me out, Dylan, please.
Right. So there's great stuff at Patreon. We are Nick.
I'm going to say this trepidatiously. Stop me if I am wrong.
We'll bleep it if it's bad.
But also, next week, our Another Bachelor Podcast feed is going to be moving to a whole new show. Or is that 2 weeks?
I think it's 2 weeks.
Well, 2 weeks, we're about to make a big announcement that show is getting rebranded. Stay tuned for that. You'll hear all about it.
And it's going to be probably a podcast about bad TV.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. And one of the things we may cover is the 3 episodes of Love is Blind After the Altar, which drops on Netflix September 16th.
Yeah, we might cover that. So public service announcements are over. Let's get into thoughts and pots. Pat, why don't you take it away?
I didn't really enjoy this episode. Too much anchor stuff. First half really weighed down the episode.
Nice.
You're welcome.
Did you mean it?
Yeah.
Yeah, you did.
And then, I mean, some of the drama between Kyle and Natasha and Natalia, I guess that was kind of interesting. I don't know.
Okay.
Natalia's gone down a few points in the TV girlfriend department because she's a fucking snitch, you know?
Whoa, grumpy pants.
Well,
You got poop
I
in
call
your
it
pants.
as I see it, my friends. I'm going to give it, it's just a middle episode. We're getting close to the end here. I think there's like 4 more.
Yeah.
So there's maybe not that much story to tell. I don't know. 4 knots.
You drinking Frise?
No, this is a homemade mimosa, Dill.
No, I know, but what's the champagne called? Frise?
No, it's called...
What is that stuff called?
I have the bottle.
It's in an opaque black bottle. Frisianet.
Frisianet. It's middle of the road.
It's fine champagne.
I
Nick.
served it at my wedding.
The other thing's a dog. Frise. A
Bichon Frise. Little tiny poodle.
Pat believed too much anchor weighed down this episode. Love the pun. I thought too much anger weighed down this episode.
Yes.
We've talked in the past how when these workplaces get so toxic, it almost gives you just a bad feeling. And while the drama was exciting, it's good, the inner workings, I don't know, I didn't feel good after it. But that said, I like the drama. I completely disagree on who's at fault with the whole Natalia situation. At some point, ratting is, I mean, it's not ratting, it's fucking... I don't know what it is. It's survival.
Saving.
Ratting to survive yourself. So I guess you're still right. But still, I feel like it was necessary. 72 knots.
You know, heroism, true heroism has been defined as a kind of insanity. You know what I mean? think about somebody gets pushed onto a train track and one guy jumps down there and saves everybody, you know?
Think about being a billionaire vigilante going out without a gun to stop criminals. That's
Exactly.
insane.
So people rush to danger where our natural instincts would tell us to back away, right? Going up against the sassy force that is Kyle and Natasha coupled together, powers enhancing one another, is an insane thing to do. It's almost a losing battle most of the time. So I feel as though we've got a real William Wallace on our hands here in Natalia, okay? So shame on you for calling her a rat, even though she is a bit of a rat.
She called herself a rat.
I know, but it's nuanced, okay? I'm very sorry for that roundabout I had no idea where I was going, but you know what? It's freaking 90 pots.
I liked it. Home is Gotham. Kyle and Natalia are the criminals that
The
are ruining the
Joker
street.
and
Natalia is Batman.
Yeah, the sassy gay one. You had something to say, right?
Oh, no. So let's get into the show
All
because
right,
we
thank
start off
you.
on a real cliffhanger.
So, namaste. We begin where we left off with life, with the little yoga and life-threatening anchor untangling. Hands down, my least favorite trope of Below Deck. And I've honestly kind of fucking had enough of it. Bravo.
Will Storm
Yeah.
lose a leg by kicking that anchor? Answer: no.
Bravo, we know you listen. Stop it.
Stop doing it.
I don't want to see a docking. I don't want to see an anchor untangling unless somebody is fucking losing a limb or getting a cut that needs sutures. Like, we need a little blood. I need to move a little bit.
When
you
nothing
know?
happens, don't feel the need to show it.
It's just a docking. He just went down and kicked the anchor. It's not good TV. 85 pots.
Hey, I want to talk about these anchors for a second.
Yeah.
That technology they're using is like, I don't know, like at least 500 years old.
Yeah.
Dropping a heavy thing into the water to weigh the boat down to keep it stationary. You think we'd have an upgrade after 500 years?
Yeah, well, Patrick, I mean, if it ain't broke, don't fix it.
It's
you know?
broke all the time.
Well, Pat, how old is the wheel? You know? How old's the wheel? Even older than 500 years, maybe 600 years old, you know?
Got me thinking.
So, let's move on to a sad. Nick is so lost in thought.
No,
right
yeah, because
now.
I was trying to think of maybe there could be some type of...
You were trying to engineer a new invention to weigh a boat down, and you have no fucking experience in the nautical world. There's no way you could have possibly come up with
I should be slapped in the face. I think the upgrade is those fucking stabilizers that almost kill everybody every other.
Right.
Can I tell you?
Yeah.
I was just about to give up as you noticed me deep in thought,
Yeah.
but I was heading to some sort of Disney Pixar's Up type situation where instead of weighing it down, you lift it up, but that wouldn't stop it from moving at all.
You know, that movie's overrated except for that first 6 minutes, that montage of the entire life of that wonderful couple that their dreams were never fulfilled. And rather than get to travel to England and go on new adventures, they were stuck down by greed and held down by the man. Well, they were surrounded by buildings in that tiny little house, and then she dies, and then he's just an angry old codger.
It's essentially Castaway, but in the sky.
Is that a correct retelling of that little prologue to that film?
I paraphrased the first 6 minutes, but it is wonderful. You will be crying.
They didn't get to travel?
They never got to travel. They kept showing them putting their savings into like a bucket,
wow.
And then it shows something would break in the house, and then they got to take the coins out.
Oh, wow,
And
wow,
before
wow.
you know it, they're both 60. They never got to do anything. They spent their lives working.
Well, that
for
dog
a man.
can talk, though.
Squirrel.
All right, so moving on to a sad state of affairs. Kyle and Natasha have seemed to join forces, exponentially expanding the power of SAS. And dare I say, evil aboard home. The two of them are talking about napping and wailing about Frank when Natalia asks if Kyle has gotten anything done today. Now, Natalia, a little forward with the accusations of laziness, but also, I feel we've reached a turning point with Kyle. He's very confident in the foundation that he stands upon, that being, him being good at his job and also being the person who has befriended and allied Ursula in human form, his boss. It's a strong political move, but she's a poison root with a honeyed tip. It's just not a good idea. He's too high on his own supply.
I semi-agree with you, but except for the fact that he can't handle her. He hasn't just befriended her. He has attached fingers to his strings and put her on the end of... He is managing her from the back.
Right.
That was him, that one little scene where he's like, oh, I guess I just blew smoke up your ass. He was like, yeah, you're a good leader. You don't make me do shit.
Right.
He's got her in the palm of his hand, and it's going to be trouble.
Yeah.
It's going to be trouble. And Natasha will be the one to suffer the consequences.
Well, I like Kyle a lot, but I want to talk to this young man because, in fact, when Natalia did confront him saying, what have you done on the boat this morning? He said, what have I been doing? I talked to Frank all morning, bitch.
Right. Is he very young?
Kyle or Frank?
All right. So Kyle says, Natalia, my sweet dear, is a huge martyr. Bitchy thing to say and almost indecipherable with that accent. I rewound it and was like, oh, that makes sense. He's being sarcastic and mean. So Natalia responds in kind. I want to punch you in your penis. Hilarious, made better with a little melody. So let's get to Indiana J having more issues with the deck crew. He tells Courtney that she's wrong about ropes and lines and whatnot. And they see, this is like... I don't think the show needs to be fixed like The Bachelor. Right? The Bachelor has gaping fucking splits and it's bad. But I just don't know. Even this with the deck crew, it's just not really moving the needle that much.
Well, it's the senseless bickering that everybody that is in a TV show has to be subjected to in a corporate work environment all day. I don't want to put on my TV show and hear the same bickering that I have to go pretend I'm taking a shit to avoid hearing in the kitchen.
I'm okay. I don't know why I'm okay if it happens below deck. Maybe because it's titular, But above deck, it's just not really moving.
Well, I'm not attracted to anybody on the deck.
Well, Z's a handsome guy.
He's all right.
Jay's a handsome guy.
Not really. I mean, if they were good, if they were better looking people, I might be. Remember how swooped up we were in the drama with Riley, the red snapper? That was fun. That held down, that anchored the entire show. That was fun to watch her season.
Well, you see, you're putting me in a...
And she banged that Tyler or that guy who...
You're putting me in a tough spot, because...
I don't know where you're going with it. I do know where he's going with it.
Great time, had a blast. No regrets.
I don't think you do know.
I do know where you're going with it, but I'm not going to say it because I'm not going to be tricked into it because it'll sound mean.
Yep. Gonna leave that alone. More mystery, less history.
My problem with this little above deck thing, I'm fine with seeing the drama, and we can't take a turn where we hate all the staple aspects of the show.
Right.
Like we have on the Bachelor.
Right.
We can't do that yet.
We can't do that.
I push back against convention though, Nikki.
It's true, and we just have we got years to bleed this thing out. So come on, stay positive.
What a show this show is! It's so good.
My problem with it was Indiana Jason saying. It's not like it's complicated. It's not the Dewey Decimal System. Oh, right. You guys know my passion for local libraries.
Exact same note, Nick.
The point of the Dewey Decimal System is the beauty of its simplicity. Yep. Any old Joe should be able to figure it out, so I didn't like him disrespecting that.
Nick, I completely disagree. When they tried to teach me how that all works in the 5th grade, this 10-year-old was really confused.
That is because you have a thing in your brain where not only do you turn off, but you have an aversion to things you don't want to learn. Yeah. Cite Uber, cite Postmates, cite the Dewey Decimal System.
Hey, this isn't an opportunity for you to hurt.
Wait, can I finish? 3 very, very simple things.
Can I say something I've been ruminating on, and I don't want to hurt anybody's feelings, but I fear, and the Dewey Decimal thing is really adding to it, that you may be dyslexic, Pat.
No.
That's why you can't like you look at the Uber.
I wrote down the exact same note. He says, he uses the Dewey Decimal System as an exhibit for a difficult task. It just doesn't make sense. And also he says, I'd rather do that than fight with the crew. Dude, you fight with the freaking crew all the time. What are you talking about? This isn't a rarity.
I'd rather alphabetize than do most things.
So they leave a pretty awkward landing of that line. In the OTF. I think he's going to start getting a bad edit. So beet cured salmon and a sous vide egg. Kyle doesn't pronounce that word right. And whole wheat toast is what is for breakfast. One of the women says, when in Malta, eat your salmon, which was a silly thing to say for the sake of saying something. And then in that same vein, one of these women says, people who weren't born with technology are way more addicted to it. And that's just an insanely idiotic thing to say. I'm sure there are 400 million studies disproving that comment. I don't know why that triggered me. It was just so dumb.
Well, the problem I had was kind of the hypocrisy of this, as someone's calling technology the devil while simultaneously taking a picture of their eggs Benny. I don't know.
Yeah.
Bit odd.
But I don't know. I feel as though if you've been cradle to grave with Tim Cook and Steve Jobs, you're probably going to be more addicted to technology than us old folks who used to run outside and throw rocks at animals.
Well, a certain podcaster's older family member got addicted to Facebook, I've been told.
In your family?
Maybe me or someone else in this room that told us that story.
Are you talking about Nick?
She's not.
You said that she was like addicted to
No,
Facebook.
no. What I said was Facebook made her
We're talking
feel,
about Nick's grandma.
Facebook made her feel bad. She wasn't scrolling 24/7 ever.
Oh, I gotcha.
But like when she would go on there, she'd be like, I'd turn that thing off. I don't like it.
It was probably in 2020. It was the political year. It got really ugly on those things.
It's really just honestly just her relatives who aren't dead going on trips that for some reason really bother.
Okay, so we run up.
Social media is evil.
Check out APS. I've got the next horseman of the social media apocalypse.
I'm so excited and sad to get there. Subscribe to that show. So Dave runs up the the salmon with Natasha. He says, anything for you, Tosh. Dave, enough, right? That's lunatic shit, right? Stop. The guests do water while Tosh gets more messages from her boyfriend, who I know Storm has a lot of like Alcoholic Anonymous sayings, like if it's not worth doing 100%, it's not worth doing at all, and that can give people the ick. But
what about if there's a burning building, Storm, and there's like some kids in there?
You got to go 1,000%. Yeah. But
or don't do it at all.
This ex,
I don't think I can make it up the stairs, mate. Oh, well then don't go. Let them burn to death. I mean, it's just a stupid thing to say.
This is quite a Pascal's predicament you're putting Storm in.
Well, you got to go to the extremes to really drive home a point.
Right, exactly.
I watch Fox News.
Why?
I don't watch any news.
Okay.
Because his wife has it on in the background.
I told her to stop watching it.
CNN, in a great political move, has decided to go down the middle. Is honestly their plan. They're getting rid of all their partisan people. It's actually smart. Just let Fox kill themselves. It's kind of smart.
Watch the Food Network. You'll be a happier person. You were saying, Dylan?
They should have a new Food Network where they actually cook food and it's not competitions. Then I would be a happier person.
It's called YouTube. So okay. So what I was saying is, Storm has these isms that give you the ick, but this ex/current/soon-to-be again ex-boyfriend. I mean, we thought Dave was bad. This guy is one of the most pathetic men maybe in human history. He says we have too much to throw this away. What are you talking about? You have a dog, you have a party house, and you have a history of infidelity. I hate to break it to you, Bozo, but that's worth fuck all. We have too much.
Did you mention their shared love for parties?
So let's get to someone who's also worth fuck all, Jason. We know that he is a smart cookie, soy futures and whatnot, but aboard home, he is a petulant little asshole who just wants to fight. Storm tells him to put stuff away, and it's always got everything that needs to be corrected is met with some jab.
Pushback.
It's just like, shut up.
Just do it, dude, please.
It's getting so annoying watching this guy on TV, and we'd love to talk to him because that would be a fun interview.
We'd probably push back. What's that question about? Just answer the fucking question.
I know. I would really love to talk to Jason. I think we would, get in some bouts.
We got a little bit of his cigarette history, but man, I wonder if he has possibly a stepdad and he was an angsty teen who we always push back, because that's exactly how he's treating Storm. You're not my real dad. I'll put it away when I have time.
Right. He does treat him like a stepdad. He really does treat him like a stepdad. So we have got to move on, but before we do, let's take a quick break to talk about
Dame. Love Dame.
It's time to get sexy, Pat.
I'm going to have to use it tonight because when we do our other podcast, APS, I hope to spend the first 20 minutes talking about an epic fight that the wife had. It involved her father-in-law, our general contractor, boundaries being crossed. And so we need to burn some of this off. And the way we're going to do that is with some of Dame's greatest products.
What are you going to use? Are you going to use the Air? Are you going to use the Eva? Are you going to use some of the pH balanced lubes?
Some of the sex oils.
Well,
Again,
my
top three
wife's
favorite
pretty
oil?
pissed, so we're definitely going to start with the lubes.
Okay.
You know,
And then you
gotta
might
grease her up.
You might want to. God damn it. God.
I've said it before. Just some of that sex oil, some silk sheets, and shaving my entire body down. That's a night. I don't even need a partner.
All right, go to dameproducts.com, enter in promo code below deck to get 15% off. I mean, it's just an unbelievable company.
Hey, I got an idea. Buy some.
Gonna need a meanwhile.
Meanwhile,
So the crew pantry looks like shit. Kyle is forgetting what's in the pitcher, and Storm has a big decision to make.
oh, is this where he meets his girlfriend in that secret, beautiful love nest that they have? That place where skid marks are removed. The laundry room.
No. And I'm not disputing your estimation of that room. But no, they weren't in there at this point, I don't think. So more espresso martinis are poured in unsightly wine goblets, and then we head to the beach.
First time I've seen that on this show.
It's I mentioned it last week.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I mentioned it last episode. It's disgusting. It's fucking disgusting.
But as disgusting as Smurf blowjob shots?
No, but it's
an upgrade, dude.
If a drink is poured in an incorrect vessel, it makes the experience it's a distraction that doesn't need to be there. It just takes away from what you're doing.
I'm excited for next charter when they have the guest drink espresso martinis out of a giant trough.
Yeah, no. It's like if you had a Negroni in a pint glass. It's just weird. It's like, whoa.
Can I tell listeners, barnacles, look, I'm not advocating any drug use here, but let me say this. Drinking 2 espresso martinis is akin to popping a Viking and then taking a rail. I mean,
that's not true.
It makes you happy and it keeps you up.
That's not true.
You want to know something else that looks really weird? Not in the right vessel? You ever put milk in a water bottle? It's weird looking.
I cannot remember the last time I drank milk. Just straight milk.
Live a little.
I know, it's been a while. Milk's delicious. So Dave is not putting pressure on him and Tosh as they go to the beach.
Well, he heads to the friend zone. I mean,
yes, he's in the friend zone and is quote unquote comfortable with it. Don't lie to yourself. But he's really enjoying their relationship. There's a massive flaw in his thinking and in his language. He says, let's keep it here and let's see where it goes. You know, I kind of forget how this expression goes, but you've not seen the forest for the evil, fungi-riddled trees. You know what I mean? Like, take a step back. You should be repelling any and all advances from this woman because you're bad for her and she's bad for you. Do not entertain hope. Kill hope. Kill it. You guys should not be together.
Sometimes hope needs to be killed in increments, Dylan. It can't just be cut off.
So, who rules the world, girls? Not when they shriek like that. No one trying to run anything has any time to listen to the sounds of a fucking chicken getting tortured. It's fucking crazy that woman made that noise for that long a period of time. It's just fuck. So, crudely cut sushi is served. A very confusing dinner party is getting set up. We'll find later on in the episode that it's really just cake and blowjob shots.
Yeah. Oh, that's all it was. I have a question here. Hey, Dill, was there a dinner?
No, the dinner was 3 pieces of salmon sushi.
Okay.
And nitrogen yuzu sorbet. What is that stuff called? Liquid nitrogen. That's what it is.
Yeah.
That's what it is.
That's what it is.
All right. So, we end with said yuzu sorbet and a little bra stuffing.
The bra stuffing, the whole thing disgusted me how we're reducing Dolly Parton, an absolute legend, to a pair of old tits.
Yeah.
She was so much more than that.
She was a philanthropic woman, and she is still alive.
I think,
but she also had a fantastic voice, and
We're speaking about her in past tense.
And she did a lot for her community.
One time, Pat tried to go see her at the Hollywood Bowl, but instead they put an ant down there or something.
No. I did a great, amazing segment on PMZ. I think it's episode 57.
That was very Trump of you.
It was called Exposed.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
So,
Bring back Exposed.
What you need to know is that if
I
you go
did
see,
a great, amazing segment.
I did it. She's a loser. Dolly Parton, not cool. She's a loser. Doesn't really sing. So if you go see Dolly Parton in concert, she lip syncs the entire concert, and I exposed her with that. So if you want to hear me cover that story and that investigation, it's
Go to Patreon, pay $10, and then search Dolly Parton.
And I remember that, Pat. You also said there were ants performing on stage.
Well, I got the cheap seats because I thought I could watch her on the mega screen, and because she's lip syncing, they turned off the mega screen, so I saw an ant play guitar on the stage.
Couldn't see her at all.
Loser.
Terrible show.
Total loser.
Okay.
I'm glad. I'm glad my grandma's eyes are so bad, because one time my sister, as like almost a dying wish of my grandma, dropped like $2,000 on 2 tickets and took my grandma to Dolly Parton.
Wow.
And probably would have crushed her if she wouldn't have cared if she.
Well, if she was sitting next to me, I would have ruined it for her. Hey, you know she's not really singing right now.
Yeah, Nick's sister was on her way to a concert when I called her and told her that Nick was on heroin,
Drugs.
and I was worried about him. And she
believed him.
Yeah, almost bought a plane ticket. Hilarious prank.
What is this show, Punked?
Yeah, so the guests get back, and Natalia and Z, what's up?
Just the setup that Natalia did. She referenced a White and Pig bar that Dolly Parton owns. I've actually been to the White Limousine atop the Graduate Hotel in Nashville.
Yeah.
I love that
Do
hotel.
you mean Nash Vegas?
Yeah.
I thought it was a beach bar near water.
No.
Is that just the theme?
The theme was only white and pink that she got from the bar, but this is a rooftop bar atop the Graduate. I love Graduate hotels. I stayed in one in Minneapolis.
Do you
Good
mean
hotel.
Nash Vegas?
Yeah.
So Storm, as we mentioned, has a big decision to make: promote his friend or continue the narrative of women empowerment on this season, and just pick the person right for the job, you know. So let's get back to the boats, though. Lots of fun shenanigans with tits and stuff and Guy Fieri and stuff, but do you guys have anything before we get to dinner?
Well, I thought that was random that a guest was doing an imitation of Guy Fieri. Was that in some was there context for that?
Thank you for pronouncing his surname the way that Giada De Laurentiis produces any Italian.
Guy Fieri.
Right.
Hey,
Yes.
Giada, what's your name? Giada. Well, where do you live? Studio City. Oh, really? Whereabouts? Violin and what? Hey, what kind of pasta you serving today? Oh, ravioli alla continente.
It was funny because I was wondering how you were going to bring the Italian
I'm
accent
talking to Giada,
into the rather like introductory line of questioning you had.
Why do you
for-
change your accent when you talk about Italian food?
Yes, there was context for Guy Fieri being there. They requested that the party was going to be commemorative of their 2 favorite celebrities. Pay attention to the preference sheet meetings, that being Dolly Parton and Guy Fieri. And this is...
It's a guys and dolls part.
Oh, snap.
Yeah, listen to the preference.
This is
a couple weeks ago.
This is an insight, though, into why I'm not a huge fan of these charter guests.
They're boring.
I like them.
Yeah. They're boring as fuck. And this party is an example of it's just convoluted and kind of lame. Like, some people are going to be Dolly Parton, some people are going to be Guy Fieri. Like, what is going on with this party? It's so weird.
I don't blame the party on them, but I thought it was a great. I thought it was a fun party. Finally, Bravo mixed it up. They out of their fucking pull a card white party, fucking black and white.
Right.
You know what? We're always asking for that, right? So change up. Hey, I will say this, just because the audience is always trying to get to know me and understand the mind of Patty. Top 10 favorite shows that I like to watch during the week: diners, drive-ins, and dives. Probably.
What are the other 9?
Well, I don't want to bore the audience. I like to leave a little more mystery.
What number would drivers, divers, and dives be?
In my house that I watch? There's Beat Bobby Flay.
Is Seeking Sister Wives number 1?
Oh, that's in top 3. Yeah, Seeking Sister Wives. Don't confuse that with Sister Wives, which I hate that show with that surfer old bastard who a wife just left him. Made a lot of.
I don't care anymore.
Yeah, I don't either. Hey, I do want to cut back to the show because there was one note before we get to dinner service.
Yeah.
Which
isn't dinner. It's just cake.
It's just cake. We get a lot of history of the sea rats, but Natalia or is it Natasha discussing the history of her doorknobs? Was that Natasha?
What?
Her lunch pails. Her boobs.
Oh, Natalia was talking about that. You said doorknobs and then lunch pails.
Yeah,
and
I've never
it's
heard either, though.
Dude, that's so fucking unfair.
I just think it's inaccurate. Neither of those.
Yeah. How would we ever get to where you needed us to be in that moment?
Milk bags.
There you go.
Crude, but like, you know.
Knee shooters.
Well, knee shooters.
The heavies.
Okay. Fuck, dude.
But yeah, she used to be Flatty Natty.
Flatty Natty.
Let's counterbalance this. You know what we should call them? Beautiful mammalian orbs of life and nourishment.
Sandy's obsessing on those fucking filthy floors. So you know there's going to be trouble.
Okay, so while the guests are preparing for the upcoming Smurf shots and cotton candy Bloody Marys that Natasha has prepared, Natalia is letting Coco in on what's been going on. More of the same. Essentially, these fuckos don't do nothing but make a mess, and this is intercut with Kyle pretending to pull his cock out for Natalia to either suck or put a ring on. So, the revolting beverages are served, and Jason...
Smurf blowjob
and I love that there is an order in which these are supposed to be consumed, too.
It's classless if you do it out of order. Absolutely classless.
Put the Szechuan pepper in your mouth, roll it around, then we want you to taste the meal, okay? We'd like you to suck down the cotton candy smoothie with vodka we've made you, and then drink this fucking toxic blue shot. So, Jason continues to be a pouty fuck. Court rats on him. And there are exceptions to every rule. I think it's totally fine to rat on Jason.
I thought this was a weird one, though.
You did?
He was working. He's wiping the deck. She goes, Z did that. He goes, there was shit on it. I'm going to do it. And then she goes and fucking tells on him. He sucks. He's abrasive. This was one time. He's just trying to work.
You know, it's very akin to the other instance of ratting that we have, and we'll discuss it in depth, but not the right triggering of the deceit. Like, not a good night to be ratting.
Right.
Jason has done much worse things, didn't need to go to Storm about this one. Natasha and Kyle were up till 5 o'clock in the morning, actually, you know, quote unquote working. Not the morning to, you know, tell Sandy that they're useless pieces of shit.
Hey, I'm sorry, you triggered a memory. How long have we been going? This will take 45 seconds.
I think we're fine.
Go ahead.
Okay, get this. This happened to me in the 8th fucking grade. Me and Davey Clark, we're buddies. We're starting to be insult comics. We're starting to work our act out, and we were doing it on the school bus.
Little triumphs.
Yeah. We'd sit on, some people would call us bullies.
Little Rickles.
So as the kids would exit the school bus on the way home,
Little Rodneys.
Davey and me, were working out our act. You know, we'd have something to say about certain individuals as they left the bus.
Hey, bus driver, where'd you get those knee shooters?
What's on second?
Yeah. So, you know, and so I decide I'm going to break up the act. I don't like this where it's going. I'm feeling too negative, right? I'm probably, I don't know.
Got 10 seconds.
Okay. So I say, I'm not doing this act anymore. I'm hurting people's lives with this stuff.
Wow.
So I end the act.
Wow.
A month later, the school bus driver calls my mother and says, Pat can't come on the bus anymore.
Okay.
And my mom says, hey, I heard you've been being an asshole on the bus. You can't go on the bus anymore. I'm pissed because now I got to pick you up, you fucker, and now you're grounded.
Right.
And I said, wait a minute. I cut that shit out a month ago. You can't fucking retroactively fucking fine me for the school bus. I made the case of my mother. I always hated that bastard. And when I saw his obituary, I was like, good, you're dead. You ruined the rest of my 8th grade.
Yeah.
You should have showed up at his funeral and roasted the fuck out of him.
Oh, that would have been apropos. Hey, you old fuck. How you doing down there?
Well, that's not really roasting, though, right? That's just kind of like a crazy, I would say, 9th grader.
But you...
Oh, well,
I told him, I went up to the school bus that Friday after he kicked me off. He said, hey, I've been good for a month. I'm the one who figured this out on my own. And it was just like Jason.
And for 30 years, even though you still got kicked off the bus, you essentially threw away your comedy career until you met us.
Until I was 42. And then I brought it back and now see where I am.
A blessing for us, though. A blessing for us. Otherwise, you may not be in our lives.
Are we done?
You'd have a residence in Vegas.
We're
Just roasting
true.
people.
Yeah. It's true.
You'd be
Probably
on-
wouldn't open up for Dane Cook or something. You know?
Yeah, roasting like Bob Saget or something before he died.
Yeah, we can move on.
the fact and that it all ended.
Now you're continuing.
All that stuff ended with that throat fart. Unbelievable. So unfair to the audience what you just did.
And please, if you start those for the clips, say quick personal story.
Sure.
All right, so everyone is having a really, really good time. Too much fun, actually. I never thought I'd say this, but they're kind of ruining Guy for me. Like, don't do the man like this. He's put down too many miles on Route 66, and he's eaten too many inedible chicken croquettes and trailers.
And pretended they were good.
To be commemorated like this. I was just like, stop it.
Dylan, I'm shocked that you have appreciation for this man.
I have spoken.
You don't listen.
You don't.
I don't
He loves
listen.
Guy Fieri.
Actually, it's not that I don't listen. I have no memory. I'm an alcoholic. We forget things.
I have
What brand?
lauded Guy Fieri many, many times. And we should do a segment on APS, Great Moments in Triple D.
Okay. I'd love that.
But yeah, Dolly Parton's not just a big pair of tits, and Guy Fieri's not just frosted tips.
Yeah,
That's what I
exactly.
say.
You know what? What I want to bring in the Guy Fieri segment where he goes to that. What do you call those trailers that are all metallic on the outside?
Oh, a Streamliner.
Streamline.
Streamline.
It's what, and they're fucking cooking up hot dogs and shit in there, and they keep putting sauces on it. And
Oh, and he
it's
doesn't like
turned
that.
into a soup on top of a hot dog, and the
I'm
hot dog's
listening.
super thick and boiled. And she's like, "This is our pimento cheese." He's like, "Oh, okay,
I'll
all
take
right."
this one with less of that.
Yeah, yeah. And there's like a senator in there, and he's eating a chili dog at 11 in the morning. You're like, "What are you doing?"
If you could link me that would be.
We'll watch it. All right. So, bed for some, and nowhere near it for others. More shots are served. This time it's cranberry, pineapple, vodka, lime shots. And Kyle's tune has changed quite a bit with these heterosexual women. He's just not having as much fun. He's just not having as much
he's
fun.
rethinking his life. Him and Frank are going to start a new life with each other. His dreams with Frank are now interrupting. They're being interrupted by guests paying $60,000 a day.
Kyle is in Monaco in his head.
Mm-hmm.
He's with Frank. They're very wealthy. How, I don't know, because he doesn't work. But that's where he is right now. And he's thinking, I could be doing that.
Mm-hmm.
I'm better than these bitches.
Mm-hmm.
What a delusion, you know?
But with them, the guests sitting there drinking all night, how can you say you don't like these people? This is how you enjoy this raft. You make these sea rats serve you until the sun comes up. I mean, Kyle easily probably could have brought out a bottle of tequila and went to bed. He didn't think of that. But, I mean, I felt like they lived it up and they were just shooting the shit, reminiscing. Good times.
Well, Kate Chastain has said, when guests stay up this late, the downside is you're up till 3:30 in the morning. The upside is they ain't waking up for breakfast.
Except on this charter.
Yes.
Because they have to.
Right, because they're getting the fuck off the boat.
Yep.
Hey, I want to say, are we going to mention where the guests, you touched on it, Nikki, live it up, 3:30 in the morning, drink your face off, and then walk up to, one of the crew members and say, hey, we need some fucking drunk food, and then Natalia has to visit the culinary lost ark of sodium and diarrhea, which is frozen food.
Frozen food. Oh, yes, we have to get to that. So the guests are wondering where the fuck the people they're paying to serve them are. And eventually they flag down Kyle, who will take an hour and a half to pour a few shots of tequila. Now, listen, Kyle and Natasha are punished for their sourpuss attitudes to the tune of partying till 4 a.m. Did not see this coming from these ladies.
No.
And I still, it's cool that they're up, but, still a little lame. They ask for pizza bites and White Claw, trash after your two swords. Kyle and Tosh, unfortunately, do not have pizza bites, but they do have bowls. And in those bowls, they can put what looked to be some type of Hormel product with cheese and pinos and chuck a couple fries on the side.
She said drunk food.
They need a Russian spy / Dushka character to cook the threat level hours. You know what I mean?
I'd love to Dushka with that cap on.
Right.
A mop in one hand.
Right.
I don't know, a skillet in the other.
Somewhere between eating ash making grilled cheeses with 3-inch blocks of cheddar and dushka. Like find that nice little nook. Somebody who can make bagel bites. So let's get to the next morning. But before we get there, let's take a quick break to talk about Athletic Greens. How unbelievable is Athletic Greens?
It's amazing, Dylan. It's life-changing, to be honest.
Yeah.
They got a couple different versions of how you can consume it. They got a shake you can make in the morning, or they got those pre-packeted things that you can just mix with a little water. Changes your life. It's all your key vitamins that you need. Basically, I don't know if the company would allow me to say this, but if you wanted to be healthy, maybe you just take these.
It gives you superpowers, and also I started taking AG1.
You did,
because it was something that we got sent to us. I to be honest, I started taking it because why not? Mm-hmm. We got it for free. It's a sponsor. We're very fortunate. But once I started this small micro habit, I instantly flew through my mornings and my days. Nick, what do you have to say about Athletic Greens?
One thing that I love about it, your subscription, if you subscribe, it comes with a year's supply of vitamin D. And I'm currently experiencing extreme paranoia. And one thing that can help prevent hair loss is vitamin D. And a large percentage of our population is vitamin D deficient.
Yeah.
I notice your hair's been growing back.
Yeah, and that has to be Athletic Greens. I just haven't been cutting it because I'm afraid, but it's okay.
Yeah.
Right now, it's
nothing can hurt you with Athletic Greens.
Yeah, and right now it's time to reclaim your health and arm your immune system and hair. It doesn't say that.
Oh, yeah.
With convenient daily nutrition. It's just one scoop in a cup of water every day. That's it. No need for a million different pills and supplements to look out for your health.
No way.
To make it easy, Athletic Greens is going to give you a free 1-year supply of immune-supporting vitamin D and 5 free travel packs with your first purchase.
Whoa!
All you have to do is visit athleticgreens.com/below
deck.
Again, that's athleticgreens.com/below deck to take ownership over your health and pick up the ultimate daily nutritional insurance.
And it helps you not be one of those weirdos. You walk into a stranger's house and their kitchen's there and they got 18 bottles of fucking vitamins there. You're like, look at what this weirdo's up to.
Yeah, totally. And this is post-ad, so we can curse because the ad's over.
Yeah. I always do that. I judge. You ever walk into an old person's house and they got a bunch of weird bottles of pills and vitamins? And whatnot?
We don't, because we do not rifle through them the way that you do. So,
I do.
Let's get to the next.
Not because I'm
morning.
going to steal. I'm nosy. I like knowing what kind of addictions.
It's
people have.
Z's birthday. He's accustomed to birthday weeks. Actually,
Me too.
Not a fan of that. Pat and Z need to chill out on their birthdays.
Z doesn't seem like the type of guy who demanded everybody does it for him.
No.
So Pat proclaims he has friends who did it for him. Mm-hmm. And honestly, from our Chef Dave interview, I feel so bad the way I called them nerds. I don't hate nerds. I like nerds. I'm a nerd in many respects. And I like Z and Courtney, but they're nerds. Mm-hmm. And I just felt bad about that.
So, do you think I'm a nerd?
To me,
You can throw a football.
To me, nerding out or being a nerd is like extreme knowledge of specific things. I don't know, your enthusiasm for Magic the Gathering. That's nerdy.
It's nerdy. So let's get to the major source of tea aboard home, Tosh and Kyle, leaving the pantry a mess. Now, we never support a rat, but Natalia is extremely attractive. No, I'm kidding. She's one of the goats of home. So she gets a little leeway. But like I said, this is a bad time to rat. And she didn't know this, but given the state of the guests last night after their 5 a.m. fucking Guy Fieri and Dolly Parton rager, again, inopportune time to spill the beans. But there has a precedent that's been set with Natalia. With Natasha and Kyle. Now, with Natalia being your TV girlfriend, I imagine you were absolutely fuming.
Well, I was upset. All right, hold on. There's two sides to every story. So Natalia has definitely her little passive-aggressive arguments where she's going to punch someone's dick. And, she's been letting Natasha and Kyle know, hey, I'm getting to the point. I'm going to lose my shit here. I'm obviously pissed. Natasha is kind of a failed leader, although she does love her job and I think does it well most of the time.
Well, she loves to party.
She loves to party, but she also loves being good to the guests and whatnot, and they're happy. That's all that matters.
She really just loves to party.
Okay, fair enough. But I was mad at my TV girlfriend for being a fucking rat. I think she should have given Kyle and Natasha one last opportunity by telling them, hey, I am not happy with this, and I might have to go to Sandy if you guys don't get your shit together. I think that, look, we don't always handle things the right way, but me as a just an outsider looking in and Monday quarterbacking, that's how I would have handled it.
I agree. She could have kept the high ground had she called an interior meeting and felt like she was being taken advantage of. But it was kind of Sandy that like opened the door for her, and then just
you're hot. Come on in here. What do you have to say over there?
You probably got some problems, huh? And then the word vomit came out. I don't think Natalia at heart is a narc, but Natasha mentioned how much she hates narcs, and someone who commits murder probably does hate narcs. Mm-hmm. Natasha and Kyle's heads aren't in games. All they do is chat. Even Dave and Z were mentioning it.
They both have their loves lives ahead of taking care of business is what's happening here.
Yeah.
And Natalia's obviously not into Storm.
Yeah.
So, she's doing her job.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
I think she likes Storm. I think they're cute.
Now listen to the Dave interview. You'll hear the 411 on that.
What?
He said what it was about.
What did he say?
Well, you have to listen to the interview.
Okay. So the jet ski.
I forgot too.
Yeah. So the before we get to the oh my gosh, bad hosting. So Sandy confronts Tosh in the AM, and somehow these people, the charter guests, wake up at 8:00 in the morning. So there's not a lot of time to dwell on this. We get a TBC at the end of the episode. But Tosh and Natalia then get into a little bit of a squabble, and I will say that we're on Natalia's side, but she is your boss. You're kind of coming at her a little bit intense here. There's really no hierarchy in this. That's the issue with this. It was very buddy-buddy for a while, but at the end of the day, push comes to work environment, and work environments need hierarchical structures if they are to succeed. Mm-hmm. This got too muddied, and then the stresses of work get injected into it, and then it blows up like that one planet that Bruce Willis had to drive that oil rig into in Armageddon. Yeah.
I mean, I think that's an amazing metaphor what's taking place here.
Yep.
It was an asteroid.
So let's get on to the jet skis. They're put out, and a mutiny against the third stew is hatched. Tosh tells Kyle about the betrayal, and he wakes with a foggy venom to him. He, oh God, over breakfast, there are questions about whether or not pregnant women should take folic acid pills. Get these people off the fucking boat. And then
they should try athletic greens.
We get to more Jason and Z feuding, and more Sandy giving Kyle and Tosh the business. Sandy tells Kyle to bucket the fuck up and forgive me, but what is the big fucking deal with Kyle and Natasha? Sandy reprimanded you. She didn't slit Frank's throat in front of you. Like, I don't understand why they're so upset and so defensive about
they feel betrayed. He says it's a fishy market up in here. It smells like fishy sticks.
And it's got to smell like that. I mean, because he's gay. How would he know what that smells like?
All right, so Kyle and Tosh have gone full nuclear, and you know what? They go, we're going to stay in tonight.
You know how we'll get back at you? We're not going out to drink.
Okay, cool. I'm going to go out and drink. You guys have fun cleaning. It's just like, what is that? It's not good leverage.
Well, enjoy yourself. We're going to sit here on a boat.
Well, you know what? I'm going to journal about that horrible thing you said about my mother. All right. So the charter guests talk about makeup tutorials. Again, get them off. And then we get to some pretty thick tension. And that was a pretty sick rip, huh? What's going on over here, guy?
You know how those things get clogged and then you just...
Yeah. So... I really fear for this happy family because there is thick tension, and Tosh and Kyle are now speaking of their hatred of rats. Now, we're not the biggest fans of Natasha, but she does have a pretty solid track record of not ratting. You know, she could have easily ratted. You got to give Ursula in human form a little credit where credit's due. Charter guests leave, and then we get to another test to see how strong Natasha is. I am strong. Yes, you are, girl. I am strong.
Well,
see you
Sandy
next
calls
week.
her up into the office there to discuss, and she's definitely not going to get fired, so this is a stupid cliffhanger.
That's it for us. iTunes, ratings and reviews. If it's Spotify, hit 5 stars. It's very, very easy. We would love for you guys to help us out there. Go to YouTube, subscribe, comment, like. Tell your friends, tell your family. Join us at Patreon. Stay tuned for more C-Rat interviews and a brand new show coming down the pike. We love you very much. I'm Dylan saying goodbye. Nick, say goodbye.
Bon voyage.
Pat, say goodbye.
Later, dudes.